Hi everybody, आप सभी को मेरा सादर जय जिनेंद्र. I hope you guys are doing great. So let's talk about today's price action because you're going to learn quite a few things, and one of the major thing is going to be that how to decide what is a good breakout and what is not a good breakout, right? So first thing first, let's go have a look at the chart of Bank Nifty on a 5 minutes time frame. So when you look at the Bank Nifty chart on a 5 minutes time frame, today the market opens with a gap up, that to above the previous day high. We know that we do not want to chase, as and when the breakout happens, right? We want a little pullback and then continuation. But today, Bank Nifty actually went down and made a new day low, which obviously is not a good sign for a buyer, right? And that's why if you now look at Nifty Bank, right? Sorry, Nifty 50, you will know that Nifty formed a very good structure, and the structure is very clearly visible over here, which is called as a gap up opening and continuation. You can check all our videos on how to trade a stock when it opens with a big gap up. This was one such scenario in which you saw a good breakout and then a continuation. This is a structure which you will see in most stocks. Today, we also got Reliance in our live market alerts, right? Which is basically an automated alerts. If you see the same kind of structure, we see over there as well. If you see good opening, breakout opening, a good consolidation, and then a continuation, right? So make sure that whenever you are taking a trade, always wait for some sort of continuation in your particular trade. Never, and whenever you are waiting for a continuation, always look for a retracement that does not break the day's low. That is one major point. Now, let's move forward and talk about what exactly happened with us in Nifty Bank today, the trade that we took, which is obviously the day high reversal trade. Now, this is a very interesting trade. Why so? Again, remember one thing from here, right? I'm again taking the concept of the reversals, that who is stronger when. Let's understand this from this point, right? The market made a new low, which means what? That the sellers over here are very, very strong. Now, this is very similar to yesterday's point. Day high, from here, the sellers were very strong. Market showed us a rejection over here, which is obviously the sell area. This is your stop loss, and the market gave us very good rewards, which was more than 1:4. Same trade played out today, right? And today it was even a higher probability trade, considering that we had, the buyers who were, just waiting and who were trapped when the market went till day low. So if you see over here, again, the market came at the day's high, shows it showed us some rejection, but then it just kept on consolidating. And if you, see closely over here, right, the SL got triggered in the very second or third candle. But now I want you to understand that today it was an expiry, and this trade was shared live with the learners as to how to take this trade on a day like expiry. Now it's very interesting. Let's go to the chart over here. Let's go to the chart over here. Right. So let's understand this in detail. If you see over here, that entry has been triggered in day high reversal, right? That is first thing first. Sold calls on the safe side. One can sell 36,700 C, which is one strike price away. Try to understand. I also shared the chart over here. 65.85 was our sell trigger, right? And I also mentioned the stop loss, which is 90 over here. I want you to focus because now we are learning something about how options behave. Instead of buying a put, I asked them to sell a call. Now understand, on the spot chart, we have hit our SL. But now let's see the magic of choosing the right instrument at the right time to get benefit, right? Now understand one thing, SL will be 90 days high, correct, which was the high of the option. Now one thing which I mentioned over here, in option selling, always follow the options chart and not the spot chart. In options buying, we always follow the spot chart and not the options chart. Why? Because in options buying, the options chart is going to be very, very fluctuating, very, very volatile, because the DK will always give you those spikes which will take your SL even when you are right. And that's why in option selling, we follow the options chart. In options buying, we follow the spot chart. That is the first lesson. Now, let's move forward and understand what happens, right? Now, just have a look at this. In option selling, right, we hit our 1:1 very easily. You see from the levels of 65.5 for a SL of which was 90, we make a low of 39, right? And that's why I, suggest the learners to book some profits. Now, why so? The reason being, that in the beginning, it's important to book the profits. Now, I, as a trader, I've told you, I always look for big rewards, 1:3, 1:4, and rewards like this. Now, let's move forward. Now, that's why I suggest that, now trail as per your own trading psychology. Right. Now, I also mentioned one thing. Now, भगवान भी नीचे आ जाएगा तो नुकसान नहीं होगा over the next 20 trades. Now, this is one thing which I believe that if you are able to understand what to trade when, it becomes easier. Now, let's move on and understand one more important pointer. If you see over here, Bank Nifty over, this is the spot chart. Can you see over here? The spot chart over here, it actually hits the SL. Can you see over here? The SL is hit in the spot chart. Now, let's go and have a look at the options chart. In options chart, the SL is not hit. The SL is, this was the day's high, the 90 rupees, right? It was not triggered, even though the day's high was taken out in the spot chart. Now, this is very, very funny. Let's go to the next pointer over here, right? So again, check this. Okay, this was at 12:52. Now, what happens at 12:52 over here? What happens at 12:52 over here? At 12:52, if you see, we already have Nifty breaking the day's high over here as well, as you can see over here. Again, the day high is taken out. The market again comes down. Now, if you look at the spot chart, if you look at the option chart over here, we actually ended up making a new low, right? If you see, the option chart actually went below the levels of 30, which was around 25. So now we almost reached a risk to reward of 1:1.5. Now, this is a good risk to reward. So our stop loss was not triggered. When did our stop loss get triggered? When did our stop loss get triggered? When actually this particular high was made, that is this high. Only then our stop loss of 90 points was hit. Now, understand one thing. We short over here, our stop loss is hit at this level. The stop loss was only 25 points. And how long did it take for Bank Nifty to actually hit our stop loss? Let's go over here. It took 200 points. Now, why did this happen? Why did it take 200 points for Bank Nifty to hit our stop loss in the option chart? Well, the point is very, very simple. Guys, on days closer to expiry, when you sell an option and if the market remains sideways, what? Sideways, then in that case, understand again, then in that case, chances are very high that the decay, जिसको हम क्या बोलते हैं, premium, right? The decay will help you in saving you. It will help you in saving you from the stop loss, which may come because of the volatility. On days closer to Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, you can prefer to sell options by doing a spread. Now, what is a spread, everyone? What is a spread? The spread I have already discussed in my previous video, in which I talk about fearless trading. So you will get a better understanding of how to trade. Now, understand one thing. We sell at 65, it makes a low of 30, 25, something like that. So it gave the desired result, right? That is, it gave a decent risk to reward. But as a trader, I always go for higher risk to reward. That is the kind of game which I play, right? If you see over here, it was more than 1:4. Here, the reversal did not give us the kind of risk to reward we were looking forward to. But yes, that's how the markets behave, and we got to respect our choice, right? When you choose to be a high risk, high reward trader, go prefer that. If you are someone who likes to book at 1:1, be that. Do what is good for your trading psychology. I hope this was helpful. So guys, now let's move on to the stocks, right? So we have some interesting stocks on the way. The first stock is obviously going to be Hero MotoCorp. Again, remember one thing, we always see a chart on a daily time frame. We always look at a chart on a daily time frame. Let's go have a look at Hero MotoCorp on a daily time frame. So if you look at Hero MotoCorp, this is a trend line, right? This is a trend line which has been tested once, twice, thrice, and now it is ready to give a breakout. Let's go to something like 15 minutes time frame to mark our entry and exit triggers, right? To mark our entry and exit triggers. So let's go over here. Just take a horizontal line, mark the nearest resistance, right? Now over here, we'll go long at 2320, right? 2320, and our stop loss will be 12 points. Simple. Our stop loss will be about 12 to 15 points. That's it. That is Hero MotoCorp for you. Let's go and have a look at IndusInd Bank. Again, IndusInd Bank is showing me a really good structure. Let me take you to IndusInd Bank on an hourly time frame so you understand what's exactly happening over here. So in IndusInd Bank, what we are seeing is that over here, we have a very strong breakout happening, and then the market actually staying inside this particular range. Now, what we can expect is a short term momentum coming above these levels. And what is the level? That is nothing but the high of today's, which is 990. So we can go long at 990. Our stop loss will obviously be below this swing, which is the nearest. So you're getting a 1% stop loss, and the targets that you can expect are going to be on the higher side. So we go long above 990 with a stop loss of 982, which is a 1% stop loss for short-term trading. For what? For short-term trading. Now let's move on to another stock, which is DLF, right? Which is DLF. Now DLF, again, let's go have a look at it on a 15 minutes time frame. Again, very interesting structure. If you see over here, it is showing us very strong momentum already. Let's first have a look at it on a daily time frame, guys, right? So if you look at it on a daily time frame, we see the strong momentum coming, right? Suddenly the buyers looking very, very strong, and it has now managed to close above the high of the last 4 days, right? So we may see this momentum to continue in the opening hour itself, right? So let's just mark these levels. So if you see, this was a resistance tested once, twice, thrice. So we will go long above 390, which is 400, with a stop loss of 2 points, which is more than enough, right? That's it. Now let's move on to another interesting stock, which is Atul Limited. If you see, this was a demand zone from where the stock made a new high, and now we have the stock forming a good base formation over here. That is a good W pattern at where? At a value area. Let's go to something like a hourly time frame to understand the price even better. So over here, we can clearly see it is forming a very good structure. So tomorrow, if it consolidates and gives us some breakout, the structure will be complete, and we can see very strong momentum until the levels of, let's just go back a bit, right? Just mark the levels over here, until the levels of 10446. Now, this is my understanding on Atul Limited. I hope today's analysis was helpful. Thank you so much for watching this video. Make sure you like the video, share it with your friends, subscribe to the channel. Let us know in the comment section whether you like the live videos or the recorded ones. With that note, thank you so much, guys. Thank you so much.